And now, in Harry Potter style, we need to levitate up to our house. How cool is that? It's so cool. I feel like to actually truly appreciate this house, you need to kind of zoom out and, you know, just fly around a little bit, because it's just incredible what this mod creator has done with it. It's outstanding. I'm lost for words. I'm speechless. I mean, it just looks incredible. What's up, guys? My name is ESO, and in today's video we're going to be looking at another free secret hidden player homes, one of which is actually somewhere in this landscape you guys can see behind me. I would be amazed if anyone can actually spot this. It's kind of obvious when you know what it is, but at the same time it's super hard to spot right now. So I would be very impressed if anyone could see it. But let me know in the comment section, honestly, if you did actually spot it. It's actually hidden in that well just there. It's a secret mage's hideout house, and I'll be taking a look inside in just a moment. But first, guys, a word from today's sponsors, Raid Shadow Legend. It's already a phenomenal mega hit blockbuster where you can get real raw, dark, epic, and awesome. Raid is a brand new collection RPG game with more than 10 million players worldwide playing in less than 6 months. But what does Raid have to offer? Over 400 insanely detailed champions to collect, from undead orcs to knights or elves. So create your own team and discover 13 spectacular locations on a fully voiced story campaign. My favourite champion though is Relic Keeper. He gets another attack with each kill he makes, so you can chain together attacks and wipe out an entire part of enemies in PvP. What I love about Raid is there really is something for everybody. Like, I really enjoy the tactical gameplay, but don't take my word for it. With over 300,000 positive reviews, Raid has an almost perfect score on the Google Play Store. Raid is growing super fast, and you can see their huge future plans for the next 6 months on the roadmap they've just published. As you can see, there's lots of fresh new content to enjoy. In fact, if you join my clan ESO Legends, we can fight together. So what are you waiting for? Go to the video description, click on the special link, and if you're a new player, you'll get 100,000 silver, 1 energy refill, 1 day experience boost, and 1 free champion, the Executioner. And look how badass he looks. All this treasure will be waiting for you right here. And hurry up, because these rewards are only relevant for 30 days. Okay, so taking a look on the map, the first player home in today's video is located just here in the city of Markath, on the very the very west side of the map. What is wrong with me today? So let's zoom in here. You can see it's just outside of the city. The Wizard's Well is the name of the home. Let's go and take a look. And look at how dark, moody, and stormy the sky is right now. It looks awesome. I love it. Okay, so it's right out the front here. Right next to the cart, conveniently placed, so you can come here right at the start of the game. But it's meant to be a mage-themed home, and it kind of looks like there's actually a portal to enter it. So let's hop up here and see if we can gain passage. Wizard's Well discovered. Do we get in from... Open well? Okay, this is so weird. Seriously, it looked really cool, this location. Oh man, so we're inside the Wizard's Well, and it's kind of like your own plane of oblivion is what it reminds me of. It's so strange and sci-fi, and it's kind of like crafted out of pieces of Dwemer architecture and just this crazy land that's kind of been inhabited by humans. Like these floating stone pieces of architecture which you can find in the Solkan in the Dawnguard questline, and there's tons of interesting things that you never usually see in normal conventional houses, which is why I really wanted to show you this one, because it's literally your own plane of oblivion. But anyway, over here, starting out, we enter from this area just here, and as you can see, there's a few different exits. And they all lead to somewhere in Skyrim, and I'll be talking about that in a moment. But first, guys, let's take a little tour of this property. So we have a wood chopping block, because obviously we're not going to be burning stone. We need some kind of fire source, I guess. And then we have a smith, and there's lots of like beautiful little details that they've added. I'm not even so sure how they've made this stuff, but it looks amazing, and it all just fits with the atmosphere of the home. Like, for example, the tanning rack is kind of like positioned between some safes, and it just makes it look almost demonic. Like, I'd imagine some kind of... What? Where is Jennifer? There she is. What are you doing, woman? I need to replace you for Lydia again. Sorry, guys. But you can see we've got our ingots here. We have the smelter just here. And it's kind of like... It's all themed around the house is my point. But we have everything you need here for a smithy, including the sharpening wheel, which is actually like... This, I mean, it's just incredible. Like, the amount of creativity they've gone... Like, the extent they've gone to make it look completely unique is amazing. And then we have the workbench, which is being set into stone tablets. And obviously the anvil, so we can actually smith some items there. And we have this kind of like starry night sky from the Dawn Guard tombstones found in the Soul Khan. You can see just extend up into the night sky. Okay, let's take a walk up into the main central area here, which has a lot of Dwemer things. But as you can see, the staircase just ends. And now, in Harry Potter style, we need to levitate up to our house. How cool is that? It's so cool. Look at that view. Look at that view. It's amazing. This is just the most incredible mod ever. I love it so much. I just had to share it with you guys. I've got loads of mods like this to share with you guys, by the way. So if you haven't already, please subscribe and press the bell icon. And then YouTube will let you know every time I post a weekly mod video on latest Skyrim's player homes for you guys to watch. So here we are. It's a kind of a standard entrance, but it's been decorated very differently. You'll recognize this if you've been to Solheim, and it's very similar in terms of architecture. But we've got a lot of alchemy ingredients, a cooking station, and then we have a bedroom at the end here, lit by this strange beacon of light. And it's really quite homely, actually. I do like it. I'm a big fan. And we've also got some mannequins we can decorate, obviously. But let's go downstairs, because now things get trippy. I mean, it's clearly a mage's house. I don't really know how they've made these light sources, but I love the effect of it. It reminds me of kind of like a greenhouse, which is indoors, and someone just put like UV lights inside to make the plants grow faster using witchcraft, alchemy witchcraft. We've got some books from the realm of Homerus Mora, and this is our alchemy ingredient lab. And as you can see, the plants are kind of like twitching, and I think that's actually an effect they've added, because usually they don't do that. It's a little bit creepy, and it adds like an interesting dynamic to the room. But we have our alchemy table and an enchanting table down here. But you know, it doesn't need to be a huge house, and I kind of like houses that I just have a lot of attention to detail. End up being, potentially some consider this to be quite small, but it just works really well. So I'm a massive fan. Okay, let's take a walk upstairs again and head back outside to see what else we need to look at. Excuse me, Jennifer, you're in my way. Thank you. Oh my god, I hope I didn't. That was a big fall. Oh, thank god she's okay. Jesus. I'm just going to float down from here. I wonder if we can actually walk up here. Can we step on this? YOLO. Oh my god, we can walk on here. Okay. This is cool. Haha. So, there's loads of like Dwemer pipes kind of burning some kind of mysterious ash. I don't know what kind of things mages would do in this area, but it looks amazing, doesn't it? Just all the vantage points you can get, and they've spent so much time and effort on just creating this whole space that it's really what makes the house amazing. It's not the house itself, it's the space that it's in. And I mean, you take a look on the outside area and it's just amazing. I've never seen a player home like this ever. And I've been playing Skyrim for, what, 8 years now? Which is ridiculous, I know. But my god, this is the most unique one. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. And guys, if you're enjoying the video so far, leave a like and I will show you the next house. Now, obviously, this is a mage's house. So we have a few different exits. The central one takes us back to Markath. And I don't know where this one takes us. Let's find out. Let's go crazy. This actually takes us to... Wait, what is she doing? What is she doing? Hello? Are you okay?
Much knowledge lies within the college's walls.
Okay, that's nice. So this takes us to Winterhold. But I love that we can just hop around Skyrim. Okay, here we are. So now we are in Riften. This is just outside Riften. You can see the docks there. Wizard's Well is over here on the map. And then there's also another one over here at the College of Winterhold. And then, as you saw at the start of the video, in Markath. So it literally takes you to all 3 corners of the map in Skyrim, which is really cool. But now, guys, let's look at our next house location. Where is it going to be? It's not even on this map, guys. It's over here in the island of Solheim. So let's fast travel over to Solheim. So here we are on the island of Solheim, and you guys should be able to spot this house reasonably easy. It's in that direction over there, but it is actually one of those houses that's architecturally correct for the area, so in that sense it's very lore friendly, which is also like kind of a big thing for me, like that houses kind of belong in their environment, though this one is definitely less secretive. A Spriggan, watch out Janissa, get wrecked up. So in our last video, a lot of you said that you love those small homes that are dotted all over the land of Skyrim that you can kind of travel to as you're journeying across the game. And I haven't yet covered one in the island of Solheim, so I thought it would be a really good location to cover, especially because this is a Dunmer themed home, and it's very cute, very architecturally accurate to its environment, and it also has its own boat as well, which is just very charming. And I mean, look at that view. The view of the biggest mushroom in the world. God damn. Alright, so this is Asher's Rest. As you can see, there's a nice boat here, so you can do a bit of fishing. Look at this wacky warehouse fishing reel setup they have. I mean, that is just newty. But I love that this is kind of like fallen down and, you know, in a state of disrepair. Jennifer, you're going to like this house. It's built for people like you. Dunmers, as they call you. So obviously, as you need, there's some ale and some wine on the outside so you can enjoy the view of your old homeland Morrowind as it erupts into a city of ash and covers your house. Sorry, I didn't mean to depress you all. That is very sad. Here we are inside, and as you can see, this is the house. Sorry about the textures not loading in, guys. Now, I'm sorry many of these textures are not loading in. Like, for example, this is actually a really cool shrine of the reclaimed princes, and it just looks insanely cool. Sorry that the textures aren't loading. I don't know why that is. The mod author is aware of a few issues. This is actually his first mod he's ever created, and I'm a really big fan of it. I think it's very impressive. So you can actually activate the Shrine of Boethia here. As you can see, it cures all your diseases, but it also gives you a secret little enchantment on your character. Active effects. One-handed weapons do 10% more damage, a extremely useful enchantment, and that lasts for 7 hours. And then we have the Shrine of Azura. Let's have a look here what that does. Resist 10% of magic, another super useful shrine there. And then finally we have Melfala. Prices are 10% better, so whatever you do, the Dunmer have a god for everything, and I think it's really cool and very Dunmer themed, having this kind of creepy atmospheric lighting around their shrine as well. And then we have some other Morrowind flags that for some reason haven't rendered in, and a table full of everything Morrowind themed, but the sweet rolls, which I'll be taking, obviously. And then there's also some vegetables here, and the jazzberry crostata, my favorite. And then there's a cooking pot here at the fire. So obviously, you know, I don't do the cooking, but Lydia will be here cooking for us. And then some mugs as well, which for some reason aren't textured. Very nice indeed. But we also have here the tanning rack and some other flags. And then if we come in to the main central library room, which I really like because there's kind of like a staircase going around the back to the upstairs area of these bookshelves. And then we have the Azir Tragijaziri. So this book is actually about the organization of the Khajiit folk. Quite a rare book. What else do we have down here? Just some other random books to fill the space. And obviously a map of Solheim. Very nice. A little under area here with your bed. Most depressing bed area I've ever seen. But hey, that's just, you know, how Dunmer lives. Let's go upstairs. Maybe there's a nicer bedroom. There is a nice bed here. And also a chest with 2 seals. Are those seals? What are they? They look weird. Maybe from Morrowind. They're untextured though. But let me get a torch out because I can't even see half this detail here, but there's so much detail to look at. There we go. Okay, so we have a whole area to store our scrolls and some alchemist ingredients there. Even an elder scroll just casually placed on the shelf. And we also have Ralith's journal, which we'll read in a moment, and some nice books with alchemy ingredients which add to that lore-friendly vibe. Enchanting altar, alchemy altar, and that's about it. Let's have a little read of this journal then and see the backstory. Oh, that's so sad, but very interesting, and it gives this whole house an element of backstory. So there you have it, a very nice home on the shores of Solheim that you guys can use. And as you guys can see when we exit, all of the yams that she actually planted are now growing, and you can harvest them and nom on those yams to your day's end. But guys, now I'm going to show you the next location of a hidden house, which is definitely much more hidden because it's actually hidden inside a cave. Oh, who's this? So this next location actually has a special place in my heart because it exists in the base game and it was actually featured in a previous video. It's called the Alchemists Shack, and it's actually a location that's kind of like, well, it's a shack, and you can use it kind of like a player's home before you can afford to buy a house in Skyrim. So it always was a location of interest to me. But this mod adds a secret underground cave cellar that actually turns it into a fully fledged player home, which is why I'm a huge fan of it. You can see the shack is just here, Riften's on the right behind my head, and to the north is Iverstead, so that's where it is. It's not that hard to find at all. It's just off the main pathway you're going to find this secret little shack, and if you've never found this location, it's got a pet bunny rabbit, which is very adorable, and an alchemy lab as well. It's very alchemist themed, obviously, which I've not really covered before, so I'm quite excited for that. And then there's a few different interesting books, like The Legend of the Red Eagle, which is a very well-known quest book, which I did a whole video on, the lore behind that as well. And there's also a note on the Tamed Rabbit here you guys can read, which is actually, I think, a Skyrim Creation Club mod, I can't remember. But then there's also a Journal of the Reclusive Alchemist, which we can read here before we venture on into the cave. So coming to this area was a brilliant decision. The local flora seem to have many useful properties that I've been able to utilize into the new potions. Outside, the rich soil has allowed the cuttings I've collected to grow into fine and beautiful plants. This afternoon I think I will journey out for more mushrooms as my current supplies is beginning to dwindle. On a personal note, I've moved my alchemy work outside the shack. I find the middling air is a boon to my health as well as an inspiration to my work. So sadly, when she went out to collect mushrooms, she never actually came back, which is very unfortunate. But you know, you've got the alchemy shack here, a few more ingredients and carrots for the rabbit. Bless him. His name is Thistle, and he likes eating thistles. Hopefully he doesn't eat any of these death bells that are lying around here. But the actual modded location that is added to the game by this mod is located down behind here, the Alchemist's basement. Quite well hidden and easy to miss, because it took me about a minute to actually find it walking around the house. So here we are inside, and as you can see, it's like one of the most beautiful locations ever. It's a whole cave, and they've tried to create an amazing area, like with things like Gleam Blossom, which is, I think, in the Dawnguard DLC, and then other unique plants like this, which I can't remember where these are from, but they're so creepily weird. And we also have a smithing section with loads of ingots here, but mostly it's alchemy focused, obviously, as you can see. There's tons of ingredients to harvest, and you can also find a staff enchanting altar just here, which is very rare to actually find, so definitely make sure you make use of that. And then we have an arcane enchanter, which is really cool because I've never seen one. That's literally just a cauldron full of soul gems and weapons. Like, you just ram a weapon in there and suddenly it's enchanted. They've even used like a kind of effects around the cauldron, which is really spicy. I love it. And then here we have a very interesting, I've never seen anyone do this actually. It's basically like a hanging basket. I don't know if anyone's from Britain, you know about hanging baskets. You know, us British people love our hanging baskets. But yeah, there you go. It's the first time I've seen one in Skyrim though. I wonder if the person who made the mod was British. Who knows? So coming further in, we have, this is like just awesome. An alchemy crafting table, like never seen it before. I mean, look at this. We've got some kind of exploration map here with different ingredients, like a boar tusk that they've located in a different area, I guess, to Skyrim. The alchemy lab just being here, and you can add ingredients into that like so, and make some interesting concoction like so. If I craft this, then we get some alchemy like that, and it's like a very easy way of doing it quickly. And then we have just the most amazing shelving unit hung on ropes again from the ceiling, and I just think it looks amazing. So I'm a huge fan of that customized setup. But then we have this, which is actually really awesome because they have like the characters from the loading screens here, and they've kind of like just taken them out of the loading screens and put them in the game so you can kind of appreciate them. And you've got like the Nordic armor here, the Death Hounds, another Duomo weapon, and a gargoyle here which is literally jumping at me. It looks terrifying. So yeah, I love this shelf. It's got all the cool items you collect on your journeys. And then we have a nice cookery shelf just here, and it has a baking stone which you can go ahead and craft things on, because the idea is that it's like hot ashes underneath it and you can just put food on the hot stone and craft it, which is kind of like a nice take on that sort of idea. Very simple, you know, out in the wilderness cave, storage and bedroll there. And I love this stalagmite coming up from the ground, and just some flora growing on it as well. And we also have loads of fish that you can harvest that also come back, and a secret little boss chest hidden under here. 228 gold. Wow, it's actually probably going to be a respawning boss chest as well, funnily enough, if you guys empty that on a regular basis. Yeah, so now we can go into this next room. Some more ceiling flora, which looks awesome. And we have our smithing area with a saber cat and a deer, which has been stuffed on a tiny scale somehow. So yeah, I love that. I love this whole location. I mean, it just looks amazingly beautiful, doesn't it? So I really wanted to share this location with you guys. I've got a bunch more mod videos coming out with awesome player home housing mods though, guys. So if you want to stay tuned for that. Oh, you can see outside as well. That's really cool. It lets all the fumes go out into the wilderness. Very nice. So let's go back outside. But guys, if you want to stay tuned to the channel, subscribe and press that bell icon, because then YouTube will let you know as soon as I release a new Skyrim player home mod weekly video. I'm trying to do these on a weekly basis, but guess what, guys? I'm actually moving house myself. But this time, guys, I'm moving into a house that's actually going to be our house, because we have brought one, and it's just the most incredible experience, because it means finally I'll be able to set up my studio for recording videos on a more permanent basis with lighting, and actually screw things into the wall and soundproof it and just improve my setup. Oh my god, there are boxes all over the room at the moment as we set up to move. But I just want to say thanks so much to you guys for the constant support on the channel, especially those of you who watched my Greedfall video playthrough and all the guides I made for that. I hope you guys really enjoyed that too. And if you guys really want to help support the channel, don't forget to download Raid from the link in the description, because then it looks good on me and it really helps me get more sponsorships to the channel as well when I promote these kind of games, which is really helping keep the channel going, and one of the reasons I could get a new house with your constant support on Patreon and whatnot as well. And I'm going to be upgrading my computer soon, so you won't get this laggy FPS gameplay anymore, which a lot of you have been complaining about. I've been saving up for that for, well, literally the last time I brought a new computer and built it myself was in 2014, so it's been a long time. And I just wanted to kind of leave this video on that personal note that, you know, thank you so much for allowing me to do this and making this job possible. It really does mean the world to me, and it's so cool that I get to do this with you guys on a permanent basis. But yeah, just your continuous support really does make that possible, guys, so thank you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Give it a like if you did enjoy it, and thank you again. Goodbye. See you in the next one.